Sure.
You gotta go for it. Every lap, for as many laps as they need to, and that's the hard part. It's the worst hobby. It's also the best hobby.
What's up, everybody? We are here today with Tom Panzarella from Panzer Performance with his Mk2 Jetta that he's going to be racing this season. I've known you for quite a long time. I can't remember exactly how long ago it was, but maybe you know more than I do.
2006.
Okay.
jwelty.com.
Back in the original Fix Fest days.
The original Fix Fest.
Right. So cool. So yeah, tell us about what are the plans with the car? What's going on this year?
Season, yeah. So it's built for Grid Life's GLTC, which is like a touring car series. It's got like a spreadsheet algorithm deal that you figure out how much you can weigh and how much horsepower you can make, and then that tells you what size tire you can use. It sounds very confusing, but it's like some of the best racing in the country for amateurs.
And they do that to make it more even across the board,
yeah.
Like with the different kind of cars?
Yeah, like hopefully I'll be beating Corvettes in this thing. So
nice.
You know, and it's there's M3s, there's Porsches, there's like everything you can think of.
Right.
You know, I'm the only Volkswagen out there though. So
sweet.
I think I'm the only. There's not even an Audi.
Okay.
So we're the only VW out there representing.
Tom's representing the VAG community, although there might be Porsches.
There's some the Caymans. There's a couple Caymans.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Volkswagen, Audi, Tom's got us covered.
Yep.
And why are we here with Tom? Because UroTuning is helping Tom out. We're supporting the car. We're sponsoring Tom for the season. Really excited to see how things go along. So when's the first race?
It is the 11th of this month.
Okay.
So 2 days from now. So we're driving up to Carolina Motorsports Park. We're gonna do a full test day, make sure we got the thing dialed in, and then we'll be racing. We'll qualify Friday, and then we have 4 races over the weekend, and they'll be live streamed on Grid Life's channel. They do an awesome job. They're 20-minute races, so like super palatable for TV viewing. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. We did a lot of testing. I mean, I've been building it since August of last year.
Right.
So I mean, it's been a long journey, a lot of testing, a lot of revisions, you know, and it's like funny when you build race cars. I do it completely different now if I start it from scratch again. But no, I'm really happy with it. It's super excited.
Yeah. We're excited too. We can't wait to see you get out on the track. So the car looks amazing. Let's get into some details. So let's take a closer look at things. All right, so let's take a look at the engine. Tom, talk to us, man. What's going on here?
So it's not actually as fancy as it looks, right? It's basically we bought a fabless manufacturing install kit from you guys, and an IE intake manifold and fuel rail, and then we put a junkyard 5-cylinder in it, and we built a header for it and an exhaust.
So it's an 07K?
07K 5-cylinder, bone stock internally. It's from like a 2009 Beetle, I think is what I got it from.
Okay, cool.
It's got a built trans, it's an 02J, it's got a wave track differential in it. And that's
so you got a custom intake made here?
Custom intake, right. Custom radiator, there's not a hose clamp in it, everything's all AN. It's got dual master cylinders, so you can adjust your brake bias. It's fully wired on Haltech. We were running such a wide tire for a Mark II that we had to tub
so you kind of cut out the
a lot of the fender to get it to not rub, and then we needed a lot of suspension work to make it turn good. So these are as far back as I can go without completely re-engineering the front suspension.
Gotcha. Maximum
camber and caster, man. That's the name of the game. But
I see you got a catch can running on here.
Yep, and we use a lot of radium stuff. The whole fuel system's all radium. From pretty much the rail backwards is all radium.
Nice. Yeah, and radium is a great brand. It's UroTuning. We sell that as well. Integrated. We sell. There's a lot of
stuff you guys sell.
Good stuff that we have on here, and glad we can support the team. So do you keep any like spare parts when you go on the race?
You can never have enough spare parts.
For sure.
So
I'm guessing coil packs is on top of is one of the lists.
So yes, it has coil. We have spare coil packs. We have spare crank sensor, cam sensor, all the typical VAG failure parts. A lot of the stuff is Haltech, so we carry a lot of Haltech sensor spares. We've been running that stuff for years, so it doesn't actually have terrible failure rates.
Sure.
It's on E85, so it we carry a bunch of spare liquid moly oil because it really makes the oil smell like fuel after about an hour.
Really?
Oh yeah, like if you take this off from just running it, I mean, that smells like pure ethanol, right?
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah. But it makes the horsepower, so
that's
why
what you need, right?
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing. It makes about 199 wheel horsepower.
Nice. And what's the weight of the car, roughly?
2467, exactly.
Okay, so 2,400 pounds.
Yeah,
roughly?
2,400 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah, it's super.
And that's a limit, right? You have to.
I cannot weigh less than that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I have to weigh that when I come in after 20 minutes.
Does that include you and the driver?
Yep.
Yeah, everything together. Cool.
Yeah, it's super light. We when we cut it back from the wrap. This is how backwards it was. We took all the body kit off, and there's like nothing left of the original car, because we needed weight out of it.
Yeah,
so we cut 50.
Save as much.
Yeah, so it's pretty much gutted, but it's got a tower-to-tower roll cage, so it's like anything that's not structural isn't needed anymore.
For sure. All right, so now we're going to get inside the car and check out some of the inside stuff. And I'm going to do my best to get in here safely.
Like a professional.
Okay, I'm in.
Yeah.
So this is pretty crazy to be inside a race car like this, because it's very different from a normal Mark II. If you got in this, if you were sitting here and we were just looking, you wouldn't think you were in a Mark II.
No, it's got a lot of. It's about as far back as I can move the seat without changing the weight balance super negatively.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a really overbuilt roll cage, because if you crash, you don't want to. You don't want to be hurt. So
Safety first, right?
Oh yeah.
Safety first.
Yeah.
So a couple cool things that I noticed in here I really like. This right here is really cool.
Yeah, we
kind of like
we water jetted our logo in to these. We weren't going to put these in, and then we're like, you know what, we'll do it. And a buddy of ours water jets, and he made them for us, and that was super cool. And I should have gotten somebody else's logo here.
Oh, I could think of a good place.
I think of a good place too. So we can.
No, that's dope. That's a nice little extra touch. But yeah, let me ask you some things about what's going on in here. So is this just a standard shift box, or is this something different?
So they make a bunch of fancy shifters, and yeah, I really wanted to get all of them. The thing we've run into though in the past is like those fancy shifters are great until they have a problem, because there's nobody makes, like, if you need to go get a little part for it. So this is just a standard Mark IV shifter with all the all new OEM stuff. I think I bought a shifter rebuild kit from you guys.
Nice.
Yeah, that's it. And we just raise it up so it's easier to get to when you're sitting there. That's the clutch stop. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. So what's the purpose of the clutch stop? Because usually that would go a lot further.
It's because because it's all hydraulic now instead of a cable. You can over push the clutch.
Oh, send it too far.
Yeah, and it makes a terrible noise. So that's what we had to do to stop that from happening.
Okay. So I see the Haltech display here.
Yeah.
And a bunch of fun buttons down here.
Yeah, so those do everything.
Okay.
There's not another button you got to push in the car. So they'll start it. So you have your fuel pumps, because sometimes we have to do pump outs, like where they. It's not so much in this series, but there's other series where they want to like verify your fuel.
Sample?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
So we have them separate hooked up. It's got a headlight because you have to. That's our ring light in the back, wipers. The air condition button is actually a helmet blower setup.
Okay.
So
I was going to ask about that. It's like there's not AC on this car.
No,
no way.
It blows cold air. We got a pit limiter. This is a clear button for the dash. So like when I forget to shift and bang it off the rev limiter, it gives me like an over rev fault.
Cool.
That I can't get rid of. So I press that and it makes it go away.
Get rid of it.
And then this is your fire system if you're on fire. And then
let's not talk about that. We don't
No.
want the fire in here. No, that's very cool. So this makes sense, but what is this guy right here?
So this is from AIM. This is from my guys over at OG Racing. They do a lot of this stuff. This is a Solo 2. It's a data logger, basically. So think of this as like your lap timer on Forza.
Gotcha.
And these little lights, you can set it up to tell you when you're going faster or slower. The cool thing is it integrates with the ECU, and it integrates with this camera here. So you can come back in after a session, and you can overlay all the data. And we started doing this with customer race cars, because you can build a badass race car and then send somebody out there and they're like, oh, it doesn't do this, it doesn't do that.
Right.
But when you bring them back in, you show them the data, like you're not on the, there's no hiding.
Sure, yeah.
So like
just kind of like logs everything, and kind of tells you where maybe you're losing.
Yeah,
in the
so if you
track
come in and go, I'm struggling or whatever, and I'm not too proud. Everybody that's gotten faster, you always get a driver coach, and I'll shout out Andrew Engelman. He's raced with Volkswagen the Nürburgring and stuff. He's got a million laps there.
Nice.
Super good at coaching, and he'll look at the data and tell you if you're being a man or not. And you can't hide because like he's like, "Are you flat through there?" And you're like, "Yeah." And then you look at the data and you're not, or you're like half throttle, and it's like, it really.
No, I can imagine. I've never really raced that much, but I can imagine you really got to have some cojones sometimes to just go more than what you think you need to be going.
There's definitely times where you have to just turn the brain off, like the safe part of your brain, where if I mess this up, I could get and hurt. I could hurt the car, hurt me, and that usually for most people, for me, it's like I'm a very cautious person. I don't want to hurt the car. I don't want to hurt somebody else's car. But it's like you'll get those situations where it's like you got to go for it, and
for sure.
And
I think that's sometimes that's what makes the difference between an okay driver and a great driver, right?
It's hard.
Being able to kind of push it and not push too far to where you're
the good
in
guy.
the wall.
The good guys can do all that every lap for as many laps as they need to, and that's the hard part. That's the consistency and then the no fear.
Oh, for sure.
So
I can only imagine.
It's the worst hobby. It's also the best hobby.
Exactly. No, I'm sure there's a lot of adrenaline.
Yeah.
A lot of excitement that comes with it.
Oh yeah.
No. So anything else that I'm maybe missing as far as interior wise?
No, just this roll cage is all hand built, TIG welded in our shop, and it's a little. We didn't realize how heavy the car would be with the 07K because it's about as heavy as a VR6, which we didn't know either.
Sure, yeah.
So we would have built it a little different, but it's like a full motorsport cage. So it goes from every shock tower to every shock tower, and it's welded into the chassis.
Goes through the
firewall,
yeah.
And it's welded to the floor and It's a lot of series have like, you're only allowed to run like an 8-point cage, right? Mm-hmm. So you can only have 8 points of contact, and Grid Life's like build the cage as safe as you want it.
Yeah.
So we took advantage of those rules.
Definitely.
Because it makes a difference. You can jack this thing up from one corner. It's so stiff.
Yeah, and it just
goes up. It's pretty crazy.
Nice.
So maybe next year, if we can spare the weight, we'll put air shocks in it, so it's real race car-y.
Watch out. There you go.
Yeah.
So is this a glass window or no?
Nope, all Lexan.
It's all Lexan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Front and rear. We make all those in house too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You have to. It's like 15 pounds lighter than glass.
Sure. It adds up, right?
Yeah. And it's all high too, right? It's all weight high up in the car, which is the worst. So the more glass you get out of it, you want all your weight.
Ground, right?
Yeah, as low to the ground as possible.
For sure.
So.
Cool. Awesome. Well, yeah. Let's get out of here. Well, I'm going to do my best to get out of here.
Yeah.
And we'll check out the next thing. No. So this is the trunk.
This is the trunk.
This is where
the magic happens.
The fuel that fuels the engine comes from, obviously.
Again, all radium.
Yeah. So the tank though, is that also?
It's radium everything.
A radium tank. Okay.
Yeah, radium is like the best people for making stuff for this kind of stuff.
Right.
Like their fuel cell setup is super good. So it's like a built-in. This is actually a surge tank, which a lot of people think if you put a fuel cell in, like your fuel starvation problems are gone, but it's not not true at all.
Yeah.
Because
when you're hitting the corner, right,
it still runs away from the pickup.
Sloshing around.
Exactly. So this has basically a pump, think of it like a coffee can size pot in there that's always full of fuel.
Right.
So this thing will go. It'll go all the way. You get about like 2 turns of notice before it's totally out of fuel.
Right.
And then it's
is there an alarm or something that hits like when there's low fuel?
So with the Haltech, we can program like every warning known to man. So the Haltech manages the fuel level.
Okay.
So it has a warning when I get under 1.5 gallons, because this thing burns so much ethanol. And it's funny in racing, like we never do like gallons. It's always pounds.
Right.
Because we care about our weight so much.
Which is the same thing. I mean, you know how much a pound.
Ethanol is heavier than regular fuel.
Okay.
Which we learned. It goes through 2.2 pounds a minute.
Okay.
So it goes through about 7 gallons in 30 minutes.
A lot.
Which is.
I mean, with a 20-minute race, you're trying to put as little fuel in as possible.
We want to come in on the fuel.
The weight down.
Yeah. Right? We want to come in on the fuel line.
Yeah.
But there's that, like, you know, you get cautions or the race runs longer.
Sure, yeah.
So you want to have some kind.
You got to have a little bit of safety in there.
It makes my race engineer, who's my brother-in-law Pete, nuts.
Right.
Because I always love to be like right on the line.
Sure.
Same with my race car, like my race car guy.
Right.
We want to be like right on the line, but it would suck to win a race and then get DQ'd for like being under by 2 pounds.
Right. And
Which
typically
happens.
you have to, you know, if you finish the race, you have to get around the track again.
Yes.
Right, to get to the pit.
They've had to rewrite the rule book because it used to be, you know, you finish the race and they would always dyno the top 5, right? A big national event.
Yeah.
And the rules never said you had to make it at the dyno. So if you knew you were going to blow high, guys would blow their car up. You know, like over rev the downshift so it breaks a rocker or bends a valve so it doesn't run good. So now they've had to rewrite the rules. So Grid Life's already smart on that. So now, like, you have to make it, if you're in the top 5, usually they dyno them. So you have to be able to make it all the way back around, over the scales, and to the dyno. If you don't make 3 dyno pulls, you're DQ.
Wow. All right, so we got some awesome wheels on this car. Koenig wheels definitely came through and supporting the race with us. Tom, tell us about sizing and details and spec kind of stuff here.
So these are their MRK ones. They're 17 by 8.5 or 17 by 8s. And the best thing is they're super light. It's hard to find wheels in 4x100, and Koenig's like one of the few people that still makes wheels in like a good size, right?
Yeah.
I didn't want to run 15s because I got ginormous front brakes on it, so I couldn't run a 15.
Yeah, you need the clearance.
I need the clearance, and I mean, they've worked out great. We've run them a ton. This is like, you can see this tire has 1 session on it, and the back one has like, I don't know, 14, and they've been great. They haven't, like, usually at Sebring, it's really hard. It's a great place to test, super bumpy, and like we'll bend cheaper wheels like immediately, like because you use a lot of curb.
Sure.
And these have been through the ringer, because that's the fast way around Sebring is over the bumps and over the curbs.
Yeah.
And we just put new tires on them. They've been fine. So like that's
nice.
a major plus.
I mean, Koenig makes an amazing wheel. These are Flowform.
That's probably why they're so strong too.
Yeah, no, strong and lightweight.
Super lightweight.
You know, perfect for a racing series. So Tom's going to be running these all season.
Yep.
I think, did we order an extra set?
Yeah, we have 2 sets.
2 sets of wheels.
Yeah.
So that way, if you've got another, you know, got to change a wheel for some reason.
We'll be in front wheel drive. We're just going to go through fronts like crazy.
Sure.
Because the backs don't do much. The fronts are mainly what happens. So we have 4 more in the trailer that'll all probably be fronts for the rest of the season.
Gotcha.
So no, they're awesome. They've been super light. They're super, like I said, we didn't bend one of them. And I've bent like every wheel known to man at Sebring. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, that says a lot about the quality here.
Yeah.
So Koenig MRK ones, this is a great looking wheel. So in the back, we're running aero covers from Koenig, which look really cool, look very, very racy.
Very retro, like 80s, like DTM style stuff. We run like an absolutely teeny rear brake in the back of the car. So my hope is these were designed to take air out, right? We're hoping they keep the heat in because we want tire temperature in the back.
Okay.
They may get migrated to the front, but they look cool in the back.
Sure. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be some testing and kind of like seeing like how things work.
Yeah.
Do you have tire pressure, like temperature sensors in the wheels?
So the Haltech will do that.
Right.
We don't monitor that. We usually, because the race is so short, the tire pressure gain is pretty nominal.
Yeah.
It's always the same, basically.
Yeah.
But we do all that. We have a tire temp data. All Thursday is going to be, you run 15 minutes, you come in, and then you measure the tire with a probe in 5 places, and then we change if we need to. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So Koenig MRK ones looking great on the Mark II. So let's go over this livery here. Now we've got. So this car used to be brown, which you can't see anymore.
No, I've done a good job of hiding it.
That's all been. I see a little bit of tinge in here, maybe from the original color.
It was, I think it's light Sahara metallic was the factory color. I hated it forever, but I even repainted it that color because I didn't want to do the door jams and stuff. But I really was inspired by like 90s, 80s DTM stuff. And the guys that did the wrap for me are Prime Vinyl. And I kind of shot them a couple ideas. And originally the car was going to be red and white. But then I'm like, that's kind of, I don't want to say played, but there's a lot of red and white race cars.
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
And I really like the tones of the silver and the black and how it kind of does a gradient.
Really came out great. The design, you know, it's got, like you said, that retro kind of like vibe to it.
Yeah.
You know, got your sponsors stickers on here. I know Liquid Moly is a big sponsor too, which is awesome. I know we're going to be doing some things with them.
Yeah, you should be able to buy it right from Justin directly.
100%. Yeah, we've got Liquid Moly all day. That wraps up our intro and our in-depth look at the Panzer Performance Mk2 Jetta that's going to be hitting the Grid Life Series this season. First race again is coming up April 11th, which is this Saturday. If you're watching this video after that, there's going to be more, so don't worry. Check out Grid Life's website for all the details. If you follow us on Instagram, we're going to have all the info posted. We're going to be keeping track of Tom, keeping tabs on what he's doing. One last question I have for Tom is what's the most exciting track you're looking forward to racing this season?
That's a loaded question, but I'll tell you, we're going to Road America, which I've never been to, but Road Atlanta is like, after racing it last year, it's going to be hard to beat.
Sure.
It's like a roller coaster.
Yeah, a lot of elevation.
It's
right?
It's undescribable when you go down the hill, because like in anything slow, you got to go full throttle, and you got to tell your brain to just like, don't take your foot off the gas. You know what I mean? And it's super cool.
Nice.
That's Road Atlanta's,
awesome.
And it's the best. Awesome. It's the best.
Well, we can't wait to see you there.
Yeah.
You know, maybe some of the UroTuning crew will come up because Atlanta's not too far.
Nope.
From us here in Tampa. So yeah, again, Tom, we appreciate you coming by. You're literally on your way to North Carolina for the race.
Yep.
So we don't want to hold you up too long.
You're good.
But we appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Thanks
we'll be keeping tabs and touching base throughout the season. So keep in touch, everybody. Make sure you like and subscribe this video, and we'll talk soon.